Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. If you love diving into amazing tales, crazy confessions, and heartwarming moments from Reddit, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. I spent my daughter's college fund on buying a new house after she befriended my cheating ex's side chick and called her new mom. Now she's begging for forgiveness. I, a 44-year-old female, have an 18-year-old daughter, Mia, who is supposed to start college in a couple of months. I'm also in the middle of a divorce from my husband of 20 years, Jonathan, who is 45. He had an affair with his secretary, Alicia, who is 34. The affair had been going on for almost a year before he finally came clean to me about it a couple of months ago. I filed for divorce as soon as I could after he told me, and I also moved out of our house. I've been living with a friend of mine ever since I left. I expected Mia to take my side in this because I am obviously the victim here. However, for some reason she chose to take her father's side. I tried to talk to her a week after the divorce because she hadn't been texting me, not even to find out where I was. She hadn't been at home on the day that Jonathan came clean to me about the affair, and I moved out that day, so I never got a chance to say goodbye to her. I waited for her to text me and ask where I was, but that text never came. After almost a week of waiting, I decided to text her first and told her that I was leaving her father because of his affair. She told me that she already knew but didn't care much about it because she felt it didn't concern her. I thought that was a bit odd and began to think that maybe I'd made a mistake by letting Jonathan talk to her first, because that meant he controlled the narrative and could feed Mia whatever nonsense he wanted about our marriage and relationship, causing her to side with him over me. I tried to talk to her many more times afterward to set the record straight, but it appeared that Jonathan had actually told her the truth, and despite that she was on his side. I thought that was insane, but she was still my daughter, so I tried to convince her to talk to me and put in a lot of effort to get her to spend time with me, even though I was super busy with the divorce and my job. She would agree to meet me only once in a blue moon, and I'd try to make a day out of it, but even then she would just seem very unenthusiastic and would be on her phone almost the entire time. For the last couple of weeks, she hadn't been responding to any of my texts and was completely icing me out. Then, about a week ago, I saw a post she'd put up on Instagram where she was hugging Alicia with a caption that referred to her as mom with a heart emoji. I was already feeling horrible because not only was I losing my husband, but now it appeared that I was also going to lose my daughter to the same woman. That post was pretty much my last straw, and I just completely snapped. I called Mia up, and when she didn't answer the first time, I decided to go a little crazy and called her almost 17 more times until she finally picked up the phone. She sounded annoyed, but I couldn't care less about how she felt and instantly demanded an explanation for the post and the caption. She told me that it was none of my business and that I shouldn't be stalking her account in the first place. It was crazy because she has a public account, and I follow her because I'm her biological mother. I told her that it was really low and disgusting of her to take Jonathan's side, even though he had cheated on me, and now she was also pretending like that other woman was her mother while ignoring the woman who had actually given birth to her and raised her for so long. Mia told me that she owed me nothing, and if I was so hurt, then she was just going to block me so I wouldn't be able to see any more of her posts. She told me that whatever happened was done, and that now, instead of whining, I should just be trying to make my future better, like she was trying to get along with her new family. Then she disconnected the call and actually ended up blocking me, which came as a huge shock to me. Mia and I, like any other mother-daughter duo, had our differences, but I wouldn't ever expect her to stab me in the back like this. She and I had been pretty close growing up, and only in recent years did she start growing closer to Jonathan than to me. But I always believed that she loved us equally. That phone call proved that she didn't, and it set me off the edge. I think I cried for almost an hour after she hung up and blocked me because I couldn't believe that my little girl would do this to me. But once I was done crying, I decided that I wasn't going to let everybody get away with walking all over me and then just keep sobbing for the rest of my life. I decided to take Mia's advice and did something crazy. I'd set aside a ton of money for Mia's college fund. Jonathan and I had figured that we could split the cost of sending her to college, so he'd saved up to pay half, and so had I in our separate bank accounts. Because we weren't supposed to touch that amount, I decided to just screw it and spend that money on buying a house that I'd really wanted for the past couple of years. I'd had my eye on a beautiful house in a really nice neighborhood, but I hadn't been able to buy it because Jonathan wasn't ready to move out of our old house, and Mia didn't want to leave that neighborhood behind because all her friends lived close by. But as soon as I realized that Mia had almost no gratitude, the sooner I accepted that the better off I would be. So I decided to talk to the real estate agent dealing with that house and offer them the entire college fund and some more so I could buy that house. I got a deal and I'm supposed to move into that house by the end of the month. So I decided I was going to take a picture of that house and post it on my social media so that everybody would know that I'm not sitting at home and crying over things that I have no control over anymore. I posted that image on my account, and I guess some relative of Jonathan sent it to him. He texted me a few days ago to ask how I was able to afford that house because the last time we discussed this, it was a little out of my budget. I didn't care what he would think of me, so I told him truthfully that I spent me his college fund to buy that house, and I didn't have any regrets about it. He flipped out and started yelling at me, calling me an irresponsible mother and telling me that I had no right to do this to our daughter. He accused me of being petty and jealous just because Mia seemed to be getting along well with Alicia. He also insinuated that I was somehow punishing her for not turning her back on her father and siding with me instead. None of that was true. I was just doing this because I finally felt like I earned it, and I no longer needed to keep running after my daughter because she had other people looking out for her. It was pretty evident from her behavior that she preferred these new people over me, and if she didn't need me, then I would assume that she didn't need my money either. He couldn't argue with that, so I disconnected the call. But it wasn't over yet because after that, I still had Mia to deal with. An hour after my phone call with Jonathan, she called me and she was devastated. She was sobbing and I could barely even make out what she was saying because she was crying so hard. She kept asking me how I could do this to her when she'd always put me first and above everybody else. It was petty, but I did ask her if she was still putting me first when she blocked me just because I seemed to be upset that she was calling Alicia her mother. She told me that it meant nothing, and it was only a sweet gesture that she thought would make Alicia feel more comfortable as part of the family. Because no matter what the past was, Jonathan still wanted the future with Alicia, and she said that she just wanted to balance her old family and her new family now without letting either of them go. She said that she hadn't expected me to turn so hostile towards her, and I told her that I could say the same thing for her because it was actually she who turned her back on me first, even though I was the victim and I was the one who'd been cheated on. She just kept crying and said that she never expected her own mother to take revenge on her like this. I started feeling pretty horrible about what I did, especially when she started hiccuping in the middle of her sobs, because she only did that when she was upset, and I hadn't heard her do that ever since she was a kid. So I knew that she was really upset now, and I guess I may have taken things a little too far. She told me that she was very sorry about whatever she did, for what it's worth, and then disconnected the call. But I haven't been able to forget about it, and I really don't know if what I did was out of line or not. AITA for spending my daughter's college fund on a new house after she called her dad's affair partner mom. Update 1. Hey guys, so I moved into my new house recently, and it's been a few days since I've been living here. I brought back all the things that I'd paid for from my old house, and I did run into Jonathan, Alicia, and Mia there as well. They're all living together now, and Mia said that the way I reacted to the situation was honestly a bit over the top, especially because she said she thought I'd be more mature about the whole thing. Alicia and Jonathan also made it clear that I should try and make up with Mia because it's pretty clear now that she feels bad about what happened. Jonathan even went as far as to tell me that I shouldn't be trying to take revenge on Mia because he believes that the money I spent on the house belonged to her anyway. He said that even though she's not willing to talk to me, that doesn't mean I should be cold-hearted and not try to make amends. He said that if I didn't care about Mia, then I would have ignored him. I guess that is true. But after he told me that, I thought that I'd think more about what I should do next before jumping to conclusions. Update 2. Hi everyone. I've been getting a lot of messages and people telling me that I should try and work things out with Mia before it's too late. I'm really confused about what I should do now because on one hand, I'm being told that I should make things right with her, but on the other hand, Mia should have also known that taking sides with Jonathan and ignoring me wasn't a very nice thing to do. I tried to get a therapist to speak to her and also to me, but she said that she doesn't want to talk to anybody and that she still feels like her mom is the one who can be the mediator between her and me. I'm trying to figure out if I should be making the first move and reaching out to her to tell her that I'm sorry, or if I should just let things be and stay away for good. Update 3. Hey everyone, I wanted to give you all another update on my situation with Mia and the house. After reading through your comments and advice, I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflection. I understand that many of you believe that I should reach out to Mia and try to mend our relationship. So I decided to take a step forward and reach out to Mia with a heartfelt letter. I explained to her that my actions were driven by hurt and frustration, and that I deeply regret how things escalated. I also acknowledged that her behavior towards me was painful, but I emphasized that my goal was never to push her away. I just wanted to express my feelings and make her understand the depth of my hurt. To my surprise, Mia responded to the letter. She said that she was still upset and hurt but appreciated that I took the time to apologize and explain my actions. She also mentioned that she understands now why I reacted the way I did, but it's going to take time for her to fully process everything and heal from the situation. We agreed to have a face-to-face meeting to talk things through, and we're planning to meet up sometime next week. I'm hopeful that this meeting will be a step toward rebuilding our relationship. It's been a challenging period, but I'm willing to make the effort to mend things with Mia. I'll keep you all updated on how the meeting goes. Thanks for all your support and advice throughout this ordeal. It's been incredibly helpful as I navigate this difficult situation. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.